Hello and welcome to Cultivate to Thrive podcast. I'm your host, Michelle Gunn. My mission is to help women find and live their purpose, resulting in discovering who they innately are. Throughout this podcast journey, I will help you to uncover your talents and your strengths to lead you on the path of realizing value in self, to grow in love of self, to lead to a fulfilling purpose, and to build stronger relationships.
Welcome to the first episode for 2022 of Cultivate to Thrive podcast. So sometime late last year, 2021, I was watching a new series on HBO called Just Like That. It's a continuation of Sex and the City. Miranda said, "We just can't stay who we were." That quote really caused me to pause and think. Think about, wow, how right Miranda is. We just can't stay who we were. I thought that the beginning of the new year is a great time to ponder on this quote, because no matter what you do or don't do, things happen or they don't. Both will affect who you are and who you will become. You do have choices. You do have some control as to who you are and who you will become, no matter the circumstances you may face. A lot of times people think, or they say, well, this happened, that's why I'm here. Or this other event happened and it's out of my control. There's nothing I can do about it. Well, that's true to a point. There's some things that happen to us that we can't control. Some of the activities or circumstances that occur up to that point, we have some control over, because every choice we make has a consequence. And the consequence can be something negative or it can be something positive. And then again, how we react to that outcome will affect everything going forward. So we really do have a lot more control than we think we do in what happens in life. There are many people who have embraced that, and they're living more of a life that they choose to live. They are reaching their goals. They are reaching their desires. A lot of that starts in the mindset. So knowing that you do have some control as to who you are and who you become, no matter the circumstances you may face, is a very positive thing, because that sets you up to make choices. Now, many people use the new year to create resolutions. They are called New Year's resolutions. I believe they are referred to as this because they don't last. We always hear, oh, what are your resolutions for the new year? What are your New Year's resolution? Well, I'm going to exercise. All the exercise facilities love New Year's resolutions, because then people sign up for memberships. They go at the beginning of the year. They continue to pay because, let's face it, we all sign up for automatic deductions because we get a discount. Why do they give us the discount? Because they know we'll keep paying it and we won't utilize the service because we get lazy, we get busy. It's not really a goal. It's not a thought out plan. Does it really align with our desires? So think about it. Why create New Year's resolutions when you can create goals? New Year's resolutions are often obligations you set for yourself, something you have to do. You tell people, I'm going to lose weight, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to give up caffeine, and then you feel obligated to do that. But it's not really a goal, because we don't necessarily set up a plan on how to accomplish that. We just say we're going to do it. And oftentimes when you do things like that, you don't follow through. You don't have accountability set up. And again, you don't have a plan to do it. Now, goals, other than resolutions, are something that you want that you can accomplish. Goals assist you in aligning your life with your desires. There are many, many tools to help you become the person you want to be, including living a life of purpose, both personally and professionally. Obviously, coaching is a truly beneficial tool to utilize. One of the specific coaching tools that I offer freely and utilize myself is choosing a word to guide your year. This word should not be chosen haphazardly. Thought, discovery, and reflection should be a part of the process. Oftentimes, people will hear a word that somebody else chooses. Oh, that's good. I'm going to use that. Or they might just stick to the word they chose last year, even though they didn't have results because they didn't follow through. And it might not even be aligned with what they're really desiring or where they're at in life. So if you're interested in utilizing a word of the year, you can join one of my groups. The groups are available on both LinkedIn and on Facebook, and they're linked to my Cultivate and Thrive pages. It's never too late to start. This is the second year I'm offering this free. So you'll find the group, I'll rename it every year. Obviously, it's 2022, so it's called Word of 2022. So you can either search LinkedIn groups or Facebook groups for it. It's a public group you do need to join. Or you can go to my Cultivate and Thrive pages on both platforms and find it that way. But it's free. So, and I offer tools in there to help you discern your word. It's never too late to start. So even if you're listening to this later in the year, you can still partake in the process. Another way to take control of who you are and who you will become is through assessments. My favorite, of course, is Clifton Strengths. This assessment provides a basic understanding and an assessment of who you innately are. Now, Gallup offers a lot of resources to help you make the most of your results. You can learn about your talents and your strengths and also how to develop them. They have webcasts, they have videos on YouTube that they share. They have worksheets when you take the assessment and create an account. Gallup provides tools and questions for self-discovery. But adding coaching with your results will increase your ability to stay on track, to set goals, and aim your talents for success, and much more. So that's something to consider. There are a lot of other great assessments out there if you want to look for something else. I do suggest that if you look for a coach and you're interested in a certain assessment, you want to look at someone who is trained in that assessment to be able to give you the most for what you're getting. And as far as a coach goes, you want to make sure that there's a good fit between you and the coach. You don't necessarily need to pick the first coach that you talk to. A good coach knows there needs to be a good fit. And of course, you need to be committed to the process. There's work involved on the side of the coachee, and that would be you to get the results. Coaching is not a miracle thing. Follow these 5 steps and you will be all that you need to be. That's really not it. It's so much more, and it's a relationship. So that's something to think about. Now, revisiting the quote I mentioned earlier, we just can't stay who we were. Think about your life. Start with being born. Who are your parents? What size family were you raised in? What kind of house and area did you grow up in? What were your school years like? Did you have many friends? What was your role in your family, in your friendships? Were you involved in extracurricular activities? Which ones? How did you develop skills and talents? Think about all those things because all of these experiences, both the positive and the negative, affect who you have become today. And you can utilize those to help shape who you will become in the future and who you want to become. You'll want to look at, the years between your formative years through high school. If you went to college or a trade school or just worked, think about that. Think about other relationships you've had, how that's affected you, how you viewed yourself. And then you want to look at how you are today, who you are today. Try to envision how those past years have formed who you are today. Again, both positive and negative things will be there for you to discover. You can use experiences that were helpful to learn how to move forward, or there may be some skill building techniques or something that you utilize that you figured worked very well for you that you want to continue to use. Knowing your influences will help you to control how you allow them to affect you. People are ever changing. Some may not appear to be, but they are. Decide who you want to be and how you want to live. Now, I'm not talking about materialistically, although that can be included in your development. Most of us want a certain lifestyle, some more grandiose than others, but there are more things in life than just the materialistic. But let's face it, we all need money to pay the bills and to get some things we need and want. But developing yourself as a person will help you to reach those goals and to get those things. You'll want to create a plan for your life, for who you want to become. Start with the end. This may seem strange to you, but how do you want to be remembered? Then envision what the major milestones would be to get there. Break these down into goals. Create plans for each goal that includes a celebration at each accomplishment, because everything you accomplish is something to be celebrated. You will be creating the recipe or the roadmap for who you want to become and the life you want to live. You're taking control of your change, because no matter what happens, we just can't stay who we were.
Thank you for joining me for today's episode of Cultivate to Thrive podcast. Please remember to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, and share with someone who needs to hear today's message. This podcast is brought to you by Cultivate and Thrive, coaching by Michelle. Have a blessed and purposeful week.